All right, hey everybody. Hey, I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, wonderful week. Here we are down toward the end of the week. Welcome to today's video. Today, y'all, to be honest with you, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, spoiler alert, I ain't got a whole lot going on today. It's just one of them lazy days, y'all. It's raining, it's nasty. We can't do anything. I got a line blowed on the skid steer. Hadn't been able to get it off yet because it's just been storming. And long story short, I ain't got nothing to show y'all today. So I got thinking about what we could do for a video, and I got thinking about my potatoes. You know, and I said, well, heck, I need to show them our potatoes and what we got going on with that, because they're coming up now. So I want to show you that right quick, and then we're going to feed the mules, and I'm going to talk about what I do as far as feeding them. Now today, they've been in the barn, or they've been up here at the barn all day. I've had them in here with Brownie too. I opened Brownie's gate up where they can all commingle. And they can all get in here together and hang out and whatnot and have a good time. And I keep hay out here 24/7 for my mules, y'all. Even in the summertime. Let me turn y'all around here. I mean, you can see my pasture out here is starting to put out and grow green grass. You know, I do give them access to pasture, not every day, most every day, but not every day. Because when I'm working them, I don't want to have to go down here and fool with having to get them caught up. So on the days that I know I'm going to be working them, that I don't take them with me in the morning, if I've got to come home and get them, then I will just leave them up here in the lot at the barn. That makes sense, I'm sure. But let me step right out here, and I think these knuckleheads is pulled down on my gate here. Let me see if I can get it back up. Yeah, there we go. I got to be real careful with this chain, because if I don't, it'll get on the electric fence wire, y'all, and it's gonna light my butt up. So I'll make sure I do that right. All right, and I'm gonna give y'all kind of a view on my garden here. Show these potatoes. Now we do gotta cultivate our potatoes. It's getting some grass in them, but as you can see here, here's a few. They're kind of spotty down here on this end, back toward me. Up here at the other end, they're a lot, got a little bit better stand. And I think it's because, y'all remember when I plowed my garden, we plowed this lower section first, and then I added onto it back up there at the top. So I'm thinking, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking this dirt down here settled harder and got packed harder. And, you know, up there it was freshly plowed, a little bit softer, so maybe that's why. I don't know. For sure, it could be that dirt washed down the hill a little bit and covered these just a little bit deeper. But nonetheless, they're coming up. You can see a row right here, and they go straight out. Here's a row right there. It's a little spotty right here. Right there's a row. Then right here, here, and here. We got 7 rows total altogether. Now up there on the other end, I don't know how well y'all will be able to see it from here. We won't go all the way up there. But on the upper end up there, it's a lot better. Potatoes are coming up a lot better. It's getting some nut grass in it, and I got to get that nut grass out. So I've got my cultivator sitting over here, and I don't know that I'll use it. I'll probably just use a single mule and a walk behind cultivator to cultivate it. And that'll be in our next video, Lord willing. I'm gonna try to do that either tomorrow or the next day. It's pretty wet right now. So I'll try to get that done and bring y'all along with me for that. Let me get this chain put back where it needs to go without getting myself lit up here. Y'all give me just a second. All right, now I got it. So anyway, I kind of wanted to show y'all potatoes and update you on that. I'll take you up here to the corner of the pen, and maybe y'all can see this upper side a little bit better. It's real muddy out there, so that's one reason I want to stay in here. Yeah, I don't want to get my feet wet. You know what I mean. Okay. I'll put y'all over where you can see. But see, right here is let's see, where we at on the camera there. Right along in here is our first row. And it's right up here beside this fence. It's going to be hard because it's got a lot of weeds in it. So it's going to be hard to really get it cleaned out like I want to. So we'll just have to play that by ear and see. But as y'all can see, like right up in that area, right over here, you know, in that area, they got a lot better stand. And like I say, I think it's probably due to just how we plowed it. Because, you know, from like right in here where the good stand stops, where that good stand stops down this way, it's kind of spotty. And then right here, back up the hill, we got a good stand. So, you know, we didn't do anything different. The fertilizer's all the same. The potatoes was all cut the same. You know, there's nothing different. It may be something in the ground. I've never planted a garden right here, so I don't know. It could just be something in the dirt, you know. But anyway, so I'm gonna walk around here and get them some feed. Kind of talk to y'all a little bit about how I feed them, what I go through on that. A mule compared to a horse, and this is Brownie, our miniature horse. He belongs to my youngest daughter, Sarah Beth. And then of course, here's my knotheads. Here's June, and this is May. May on this side, and June over here. She's got to where she's pretty good with things, ain't she, girl? She likes to be petted, but petted in her own way. You know, she likes to kind of set the rules on. Now May, on the other hand, you can see her. She's just borderline obnoxious. June's a little bit more. She loves to be petted, but just on her own terms. You know what I mean? She'll come up and kind of be like a silent stalker type. Where May here, she's just all over you. And then we got Kate. Kate's right here. I know y'all can't see her because of June's big old nose. And Alice is over there. Alice kind of does her own thing too. But they all like to be petted, you know, and stuff. And I like petting them and hanging out with them. They're good mules. But the way I feed my mules, y'all, they get 3 gallons of sweet feed mix grain a day, a piece. And when I'm working them, you know, pretty regular, I'll up it to 4 gallons of grain a piece a day. Basically what it boils down to with these mules and feeding them is I like to keep feed in the troughs. And let's walk over here and look in their trough and see if there's any feed left. If you have a little bit of feed left every day, you're probably doing about right. If you don't have any feed left, then they probably need a little bit more feed. All right, watch out, girl. Back up. And if you feed them grass, you know, if they're on pasture a lot, they're gonna eat less grain. If you've got good hay, it's good quality hay, they're gonna eat less grain. Now, in this trough over here, this will be Kate's trough. It ain't got nothing in it. And this one over here is probably the same. It don't have nothing in it. That's Alice's trough. All right, let's walk over here and look in June's. Okay. All right, June's is pretty dry. It don't have nothing in it. Watch out, May. Now this stall that May usually goes in, there's usually some left. But now they've picked through it today. Okay, there's none in there right now. There is some remnants of it though. You know, you can pick around in there and find a couple pieces of grain. And that's what you want to see. I'll feed them tonight. I'll put 3 gallons in each trough tonight, and I'll just leave them out here in the lot. I'm not going to tie them up or nothing. I do sometimes, not every day, because some days I'm in a hurry and I don't have time. So with that being said, I'll put 3 gallons in each stall every day. And normally when I come back out here the next morning, you know, to check on them or take them to work, whichever that case may be, there is usually a good bit of grain left over in May's box over there. There's usually a good bit left in it. The rest of them will usually be clean, but there'll usually be some left in that box. So that gives them an opportunity to come back and snack on it throughout the day and clean it up, you know, when I leave them up here in the stall or in the lot. Now, if I turn them out down there in the pasture and I put them out here on the grass, they won't come up here to this grain. They'll choose to stay out down there and eat green grass. You know, they like that green stuff. And that's a good treat for them too. This is May. Let's see. That'll be Kate that just come up with her. They're usually the first ones. Kate and May's a lot alike, and June and Alice is a lot alike. May's a big old pet. Of course, June here, you can see she sneaks up behind me. She likes being petted too. She's, like I said, she just likes to dictate when. Oh man. But getting back to this feed thing, I put it in their troughs, y'all, and then I just let them snack on it throughout the night. You can't really feed a horse like that because a horse will founder itself, and a mule, they usually won't, especially when they're kept up good and they're good and fat. They're not going to overeat. And a horse, kind of the same way. If you keep a horse really good and keep him well kept and good and fat, they'll usually quit eating also. But I wouldn't advise anybody to do what I do with a horse. Now, you can a mule. On a mule, put the feed in their trough, and when they get done eating, what are you doing, Kate? You want to be seen? Okay, here. You're in the camera now. They will snack on it throughout the night and clean up their feed, you know, over a period of time. They'll get full, they'll leave it, they'll come back later and snack some more and whatnot. And it works out good for them. So if you, I heard an old timer tell me one time, he said you got to knock the bottom out of the feed trough. If you really want to, you know, a mule to grow off good, and these young mules are going to eat a lot more than an older mule will, for sure. But he said if you want a young mule to grow off good, you got to knock the bottom out of the feed trough. And what he meant by that was you got to keep pouring the feed to them. There's people out there believe that mules can stay good on grass. And yeah, if you want them to be pot-bellied and not be filled out, that's true. You leave them on grass, they'll be fat, but they'll be fat right here under their belly, and their hips will be poor, and their chest up here will be poor. But you can see on May, she's smooth everywhere. She's good and round. And that's the way I like my mules to look. I don't want them looking poor. I don't want to be able to see the ribs. And they're young mules too, y'all. Like I said, you know, her and June's only coming 3-year-olds. So they're still growing. They got a lot of growing yet to do. So I want to make sure, and they're starting to change colors too. Those of you that have said, you know, will they change colors? Yes, they will. See that color around her eyes and the color around her eyes, they're starting to shed that winter coat. They're going to be a little bit longer shedding that winter coat versus Kate and Alice over there. They shed out pretty quick. You want to be on the camera too, June? You show them your pretty colors there. So they're going to change colors and all that good mess, and I need to feed them good so they'll keep growing off good, because they'll fill out until they're about 5 or 6. Kate and Alice is almost done filling out. They'll probably gain a little more weight, but not a lot. These girls here, June and May, they're going to gain a lot more weight. They're going to be big girls. They'll be a little bit bigger than Kate and Alice. But y'all, you got to pour the feed to them. You know, you can't expect them to grow, you know, grow their body off of grass. It just don't work that way. So that's what I do. I put the feed in there at night. I don't have to feed them 2 times a day because they still got feed in here in the morning times. Horses do better feeding them multiple times a day. With a mule, you can just pour the feed in here at night and walk off and leave them. Shoot, I know a lot of old mule loggers back in the day, what they would do on the weekend, they had a pen made down at their log job. They would keep the mules there at the job, and on Friday afternoon, they'd pour a 50-pound sack of corn out for them and leave them there all weekend. And then when they came back Monday morning, the mules had all the corn cleaned up, and they're ready to go back to work on Monday, you know. So anyway, I wouldn't do that. I like bringing mine home because I like to keep an eye on them. I like to see what they're doing, if they're drinking enough water. You know, I got water troughs over here for them and for Brownie, you know, and I kind of like to monitor their water intake and how much they're eating. You know, you can't expect a mule, especially a workhorse or a work mule, you can't expect them to work for you, y'all, on a salad, you know, eating grass or, you know, this hay over here. You can't expect that. But I mean, look at my mules. You know, you don't see no ribs, you don't see no hip bones. You know, Kate over here, she's good and stout made. You don't see no ribs and hip bones. Their chest is good and filled out. And y'all, as they get older, they'll eat less because they're not growing. They're not taking as much energy. Ain't that right, Kate? Tell them. When you're growing, you need a lot more food, don't you, girl? And then when they quit growing, they'll quit eating as much. You know, what it takes to maintain them is not near as much. And like with these young mules, they'll be the same way. But y'all, when they're growing and when they're working, you need to feed them all they want. Let them have what they want. Ain't that right, Kate? Look, thank y'all for being here. If you like this video, look, I know it ain't been the most exciting thing. We kind of just had to get through it. And some of you have been asking me about their colors and also about how I feed. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, spending time with me and the mules. We appreciate you being here. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button for us. You know, this content's free. It's not costing you a thing, and that'll help us out a whole lot if you do that for us. Also, those of you that like our channel, and if you're not subscribed, hey, go ahead and subscribe for us. That'll help us out too. Push our channel further down the road. And look, I appreciate all the comments that everybody's been giving us on our videos. I've been trying to change things up and make more shorter videos versus just maybe 1 or 2 long videos a week. I've been trying to do like 3 shorter videos. Hours wise, it's about the same. But you know, I know some people don't have as much time to watch the videos as others. And I hope that's working out for you all as much as it is for me. But look, thank y'all for being here and all the kind comments. I enjoy talking to all of you and being with you, learning who you all are, and you know, more about you and your family. You know, I've some of you I've got to know on a real personal basis, and I like that. I appreciate it. As always, y'all, I'm gonna be praying for you, each and every one of you. If you're hearing my voice, I'm praying for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.